Yahoo!
Oh,
Nitin Mathur is here to have a quick chat with Jonty.
welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
This is my 2 minutes of fame and my favorite part for the entire day. Thank you for joining us, Jonty. Really appreciate your time. I have just a couple of questions for you. First question is, I'm sure everybody is thinking about it as well. Tell us to our advertisers and agency partners, what are you going to do with Yahoo Cricket? What should consumers expect from your side and along with this partnership?
Well, don't expect anything. I mean, really don't expect anything. It was quite interesting because I've worked with Mumbai Indians for quite a while, and our owners are very generous in their support of the cricket team and their love for the game. And I remember Mrs. Ambani about 3 years ago telling the team that she'd watched the game for 3 years now, so she knows it well. So I said, well, I've played it for 20 years and I'm still learning, and I've been retired for 10. So the cricket evolves so much, but it's always interesting to hear people who've played, because in India, I've noticed everybody is an expert. I mean, everybody, so you don't quite need people like me. Everyone has an opinion. But on the Yahoo platform, it's going to be before the games, kind of summing up, analyzing the two opponents, post-match as well. Did I call it right or did I get it wrong? You know, there's the commentator's curse. It's the usual thing. I say this and that happens. And, so it'll be online content. It'll be video, be blogging as well. So something that I'm looking forward to. You know, I'm usually the guy that's catching the ball, hitting the ball. So to sit and actually analyze it is going to be, I think for me, I'm going to have to concentrate a little bit harder than I have in the past.
So please look forward for this content on Yahoo. Another question which I have is, I'm going to take you back to the 1992 World Cup. A lot of firsts. The first day and night, first time we used colored clothing. And then there was a revolution which I think you single-handedly started during that time. And that was the fielding revolution, right? And I want to take you back to that moment where you were at the point position and then you ran with the ball and ran out in Zamamul Haq, which was quite a moment in cricket. And it kind of inspired that part of, that skill set. And then through that, I think a lot of people have been inspired to become great fielders. So 2 questions for you. What does that moment mean for you? What was going through your mind? Why didn't you just throw the ball instead of plugging off the wickets?
Well, another first too was the first time that South Africa had been back in the international scene. I mean, we had obviously during the years of apartheid, there was no country to play for. So when people asked me as a young guy growing up in South Africa, finally playing for your country, was it a dream come true? And it wasn't, because there was no country to play for. So that for me was the major first for me, regardless of the colored clothing and under lights. And it was, I think my close affinity and association with India was that in September 1991, India invited South Africa back. No one else wanted to have anything to do with South Africa, and India invited us back onto the world cricketing arena. So from that perspective, I have a very close affinity to cricket in India. But, the World Cup, it wasn't something that I'd practiced, that dive. I mean, it really wasn't. I was a young kid growing up in South Africa. We don't have monsoon. We don't have 45, 50-degree heat. We have grass in South Africa. We have grass for kids to play on. So my son is now, he's a bit like me, low chair. So we're a bit short in the height department. But he doesn't want the ball to come straight to him. So whether we're playing tennis, we play a bit on the beach bats, he'll want to dive. Whereas his older sister, she wants to break a record. She wants to get to 100 consecutive hits. My son will go to 5 or 6 and he'll say, Dad, hit it wider, because he wants to dive and do it. If I kick him a football, he won't just kick it back. He'll slide and kick it. So he's a crazy kind of South African kid. And that's what we do, surprisingly, automatically. So people talk about a fielding revolution. And it was just because no one had seen South Africans before. I love to field, and hopefully that's what came across. I'm not someone who thought, okay, there's a camera there, so I must do this, and then people would ask me to sign autographs, sign endorsements, and be the face of cricket. It was just something that I did growing up playing cricket in South Africa. the reason why I didn't throw the ball was because I wasn't that good at hitting the stumps. I think of guys like Ricky Ponting, Glenn Maxwell these days, great fielders, Virat Kohli.
Was lazy
Well,
cricketer.
we didn't know Inzamam. He was 19 years old, he had no reputation, but from then I think it was the start of his career as a run-out specialist too. So I was a run-out specialist who instigated, but thanks to Inzamam, we had team talks about how to get the opposing batsman out, and the team talk for Inzamam was just, okay, before we run him out, let him run somebody else out, so we get two for the price of one. It's like Indian cricket. Yeah. So we had two for the price of one, very easy. So Inzamam, he did. I mean, he literally, two people launched my career, Inzamam and the photographer. It was, as I said, nothing that I did special, but the interesting thing, sorry, I am going on a bit. I do like to talk, so it's a good thing. You kind of hide that expert, you pretend to be an expert. The more you say, the more people are, okay, he must know what he's talking about. But I met the editor of the newspaper because we were playing in Brisbane. The rain came down as it does in Australia in the summer in Brisbane. And I met the editor of the newspaper. It was the Brisbane Herald. And he said, that, he told me the story about the photographer. So we have a photographer here. And in 1992, there were no mobile phones. There was no digital cameras. So the guy took a picture. It was in black and white. And people have asked me, why was it in black and white? He had a black and white film in his camera. He took the picture, and he left the ground as it happened, because the match wasn't over yet. So he ran. His entire career, he'd been wanting to phone the editor and say, stop the press, I've got the front page picture. And it was incredible. So, it was, thanks to Inzamam, thanks to the photographer, my career was literally launched because of those two guys. So that's why I didn't throw. I knew this would happen. I was going to win the World Cup too. So if you guys want to talk to me afterwards and you put some money aside, come talk to me. I've got that kind of cricket vision.
Well, it was quite a memorable moment. My last question for you, and I'm sure a lot of people in the room want to know your opinion. What are the chances of India retaining the World Cup?
Yeah, not even 50-50. I mean, the
What
problem.
are you saying?
No. I mean, the problem for me, not the problem. I mean, India have just gone to Australia. They haven't won a game. The Indian supporters and the Indian team will be very happy to know that they're not going to be playing India every game. Against Australia every game in the World Cup. So they got Pakistan in the first game, and we know with the history of World Cups, India versus Pakistan. Pakistan haven't won a match yet, so India first one will win. Then Afghanistan they've got coming up. So before you know it, India will be on a roll. And the most important thing about a World Cup is not how you start. Ask us South Africans. We start like a house on fire. We get extinguished before the end, unfortunately. So India have a great side. I think if you look at on paper, batting-wise, brilliant top order, a great captain who finishes. The only concern for me is their bowling attack, because you do these days need to be able to take, if not 10 wickets, at least 6 or 7 to slow down the scoring with the power play that's going on. So India, I don't think had enough consistency in performance, especially in the field, in their tour to Australia, as they would like. But saying that, they know how to win World Cups. They have a captain who is really street smart. He knows how to get the best out of his players at the right time. So, I've played against MS Dhoni, not played against him, with Mumbai Indians, playing against Chennai. And every time a batsman walks, Mumbai Indians guy walks to the crease, he changes the field, regardless of who's bowling. He has a plan for every guy. And that, for me, if I was a captain, wherever the ball went, I'd put the player. Or you put him there. It's like under 10 cricket. But MS has a plan, and he really is, I think, a very street smart captain. So, India has a great chance. Get to the semi-finals. There are going to be 4 teams who can win it, because the top 4 sides on their day will be able to start 25%, like the other 4 sides, or other 3 sides. 25%.
Go with it
chance.
and hope for more. But thank you so much for your
Pleasure,
time.
Nitin.
Really appreciate your time. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonty Rhodes.
Yahoo!